Who's doing all the work?
Why is it that most of the time, most of the autistic individuals are not looking at the keyboard?
Welcome to another critique of facilitated communication. Today's video critique was suggested by a viewer, thank you, and features Soma Mukhopadhyay, inventor of rapid prompting method, teaching an RPM lesson to her student. Who's doing all the work? Whenever I watch videos of Soma working with students, I'm always distracted by her constant talking and body movements, while her students often appear disengaged with the activity. Here the student stretches and yawns.
This book. Wait, and then good. This book. Well, since you asked me, let me tell you. This book is from China. This is an ancient book from...
But more importantly, if we listen and watch closely, we can hear the verbal cues Soma uses to signal to her student what letters to say or spell out. She also raises her hand, which is a signal for her student to keep going. These kinds of hand signals are important for understanding how facilitators provide visual cues to their clients without touching them.
This book. Wait, and then good. This book. Well, since you asked me, let me tell you. This book is from China. This is an ancient book from...
Questions. Is this a speech lesson or a reading comprehension lesson? If this is a speech lesson, then does Soma have the training and licensing to provide speech-language services? If this is a reading comprehension lesson, then why doesn't Soma give the student enough processing time to answer the questions before providing her with the answers? Does the student know what she is saying, or is she just echoing what Soma wants her to say? Verbal prompts with the word ancient. In this clip, the student appears to be able to recognize letter sounds and know the corresponding written letter. The student's responses appear independent. But listen to how Soma cues her verbally by saying the target letter at the end of the words she, Soma, says.
China. So, what kind of book is it? You tell me. A. And then N, write it. And then C. Then I. Then E. Then N. And T. Yes, it was an ancient book.
It's not unusual for educators to provide prompts to their students when teaching them a new skill. But the skill is not considered independent until the student is able to demonstrate it without facilitated prompts and cues. Proponents of RPM would consider this demonstration independent communication, even though the student is dependent on her facilitator for the answers. Visual and verbal cues to spell country. Watch as Soma provides a visual cue for the word country. She asks, "Is it a country?" while drawing a line on the page, and then asks, "Or is it a thing?" Her student, most likely attending to Soma's visual cue, drawing a line on the paper, echoes the word country. Listen as Soma again uses verbal cues to signal to her student which letters to write.
Is it a country? Or is it a thing? You tell me. Say it. C, then O, then U, then N, write it. And then T. Good, you got it. Then R. And why, you're so right. It is a country.
Questions. What would happen to the child's ability to spell out the desired answer if she was asked to spell out the answer to a question without Soma telling her the answer? She was asked to spell the word country without Soma's verbal cues or hand signals. Summary. In today's video we watched as Soma conducted an RPM lesson with her student. Although it appears the student recognizes letter sounds and knows how to write the corresponding letters independently, it is unclear how much she comprehends from the lesson, because Soma is doing most of the work by asking the questions, providing the answers, and then verbally cueing her client as to which letters to write. This writing exercise, or was it an exercise in attending to verbal cues, may look independent to some, but by watching facilitator behaviors and listening carefully to what Soma says, it is possible to learn how facilitators train their clients to point, or in this case write, on cue. The science. To date, there is no scientifically rigorous evidence to prove facilitated communication, spelling to communicate, rapid prompting method, or any of their variants produce independent communication. Controlled studies show that facilitators, not their clients, are producing the typed messages. Many organizations oppose the use of facilitator-reliant techniques. These include, but are not limited to, American Speech-Language Hearing Association, American Association on Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities, American Psychological Association, Association for Behavior Analysis, Association for Science in Autism Treatment. These organizations cite the following reasons they encourage their members not to use facilitator-reliant techniques: lack of scientific evidence, prompt dependency, facilitator cueing and control over letter selection, potential harms including false allegations of abuse, lost opportunity costs as individuals are prevented access to evidence-based forms of augmentative and alternative communication. This educational video is intended to draw attention to the problem of facilitator cueing and a technique called facilitated communication. Criticisms of FC, S2C, and RPM or any other variants contained in this video are not directed at the individuals being subjected to its use. For more information about FC, please visit facilitatedcommunication.org. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment to help grow this project. Thank you for watching until the very end. And remember, FC is not science.